Welcome to our final installment of Perfect and Prosperous You. I am really excited to help you guys through today's call because I know for a lot of you, this is a big reason why you've registered for this event is the financial prosperity side of things. And last call a couple of days ago, we started the process and today we're going to finish it. Okay, so in saying that, just because it's finished today on this call doesn't mean everything changes just like that. Like anything that we are wanting to create, especially if the result doesn't come naturally, that means that there's got to be some effort in the inner change. Okay, I don't necessarily mean you have to put as much effort on the outside, but you absolutely have to put that effort on the inside to make the changes that you want to make. For example, if health prosperity comes really easy and natural to you, you know, you have a clean bill of health, and I don't just mean from a doctor's perception, I actually mean you feel vital, you feel full of energy, you're radiant, you're vibrant, you're vital, there's no aches or pains, like you're really vital, okay? That's prosperity in health. Okay, that can come easily to some of you because there's an internal image, there's an internal story, and then the external habits line up with it, you see? And then the same thing happens when it comes to financial prosperity. There's the internal mental state, and then there's the external habits that line up, okay? So if you're working on the internal properly, you will be led to make the changes on the outside too, okay? A lot of people are just trying to change the outside without actually changing their money story. They're trying to get a second job or a third job or work harder or, you know, save $1 here or a few there. And that is not the mentality of financial prosperity. You wouldn't be thinking that way if you had a lot, right? So the key though is to really create a new belief system within yourself, okay? It's creating a new story, new belief system. And so today being Q&A, okay, for those of you who have questions, right? If you have questions, feel free to raise your hand and just ask them today. You can type it in as well. And hopefully what comes up today answers your questions too, okay? But I want to just go through the worksheet and see what came up for you, because this worksheet I put together for some of you was a bit confronting. And for others, it felt good because you're not caught up in the old money story or you're feeling prosperous already. And here is the biggest thing I want you to also understand. This isn't about comparing yourself with anybody, okay? This isn't just about acknowledging where you are now. And I wouldn't even compare yourself to where you were. I would just acknowledge where you are now. When you answered the questions, where you are, right? So the first question was, do you feel you are living financially prosperous at the moment? Okay. And once again, that answer can change if you answered it in another hour, right? But the dominant feeling, are you able to feel prosperous? You can have what you want when you want. There's abundance when it comes to money. Okay. There's financial abundance in a nutshell. Okay. What are your current thoughts and beliefs around money? Now, this is the one that we've got to alter. Thoughts become things. Let's go back to the basics. Thoughts become things. So your habitual automatic thoughts when it comes to money are creating your reality. Okay. And there's thoughts you have about earning money. There's thoughts that you have about how you save money. Okay. If you're a great saver, if you don't, okay. These are thoughts. Okay. There's thoughts about having it. There's thoughts about even multiplying it and investing it. And, you know, you can create
any belief system. If you want the external result and you're clear about what that looks like, it's lining up the belief system to match it and making that a part of who you are, right? Do you love money? Do you have a healthy relationship with it? Or do you feel uncomfortable discussing it or talking about it? Do you feel any shame that comes up? These are all beliefs. And here's the thing, we've inherited so many, they've been passed on, and then whatever was going on when you were growing up too, okay? But here's the thing, just because it's been generations long, it doesn't mean that you cannot change it. It doesn't mean that you're not the one that can't experience that shift, okay? You can do it. You can do it, and you can be that change to create a new story. It's just like, let's say there's been generations of health disease or heart disease, and you're the one that changes it. You're like, no, I'm creating health consciousness. I'm going to have a healthy circulatory system. It's the same thing. And this is, I keep doing this. You'll notice that I'll talk about money and then I'll bring it to something else. Because for some of you, you got this hang up about it, still thinking it's less as important, more than important, or there's just more stuff that's resistant with it. And there's less resistance with some other things, like maybe health, or maybe being a good person, or maybe abundance in your relationships. So I want you to just understand it's just a form of prosperity and ideas and beliefs about a thing called money. We use that word. That one word can bring up so much stuff. Okay, we're unlearning and then we're reprogramming. Okay, but this sheet was about awareness. Okay, so how do you feel? Now, this is a good one. Do you desire more money? Okay, would you love more if anything was possible? And once again, things come up. Well, not if it's at the cost of my relationships. Well, not if it's, okay, hang on a second. We didn't say it was going to take anything from you. Money's not a robber. Okay. But the question is, would you love more of it? Because you can want more of it. Money is an amplifier. If you haven't improved your health consciousness, your relationships, you as a person are trying to be more in alignment with God's image, you can have more money, but it doesn't mean you'll be more prosperous in other areas. So does it actually take anything away? No. It only amplifies it. Okay, it only brings it to light. So you can be a really good person with health and consciousness and loving person. And so, people love you. However, you might have really poor beliefs with money. And either way, you can change it. Okay. If I did a health seminar, then we'd be focusing on health. So do you desire more money? Do you feel you need it? That's a big one. The word need, I think really has to be removed from the vocabulary. Okay. It really has to be removed, because need comes from I don't have it right now. And think about even that word, I need more. I need more. Like, it's just lack. Okay. An abundant mentality will not use lack energy or lack thinking. Prosperity is the opposite of lack. So even just in the way you're saying things, oh, I need to get more groceries. I need to make these phone calls. It's a lack energy. So some of you are thinking, well, what would I say instead? Oh, okay. I would love to get more of this. I would love to have more of that. I would love to make this phone call right now. Okay. Completely different energy. Remember, energy is what attracts. The feeling of having money attracts more money. The feeling of needing it attracts needing it. The feeling of gratitude for having so much of it attracts more of it. Okay. But here's the thing. Whether you have $1, $1 million, 10 million, 100 million, you may feel ungrateful for the 10 million. You might feel grateful for a 1. Can you see that the number has nothing to do with your energy? So many of you are waiting for a number to make you feel more prosperous. So many of you think that when you have this income or this amount, whatever it is, that's when you'll feel more prosperous. But you've got to start practicing prosperity now. The actual numerical amount doesn't matter if your energy never shifts, if your consciousness doesn't change. You'll still feel lack, and you'll still feel you need it, and you'll still feel you don't have enough. Make sense? So imagine living prosperously all the way through, even as your income keeps going up. Yeah? Are there any fears around it? Okay. And this is a big one because I've had to really go deep with this, where like there's history. I didn't know where this came up for me, but the truth is we don't need to go find it. We don't need to dredge it up. But I understand if those lack thoughts come in, or limited thoughts, or not enough, say, that's not who I am. You're part of the old story. So the thing with fears is when we recognize them and we acknowledge them, we don't run from them. If we run, think about it, it gets bigger. Okay. But the minute we acknowledge any fear, we start to take its power away, and we start to claim our power. Okay. So don't run from answering these questions. Don't run here. Be okay to want to know yourself around money. Like, be okay to do that. It's an awareness. Okay. And if you don't feel good doing it, then that's just because there's shame, and that's okay. We've got to release it. Otherwise, it's going to keep it away. Okay. The shame itself is what is the energy that will repel. Makes sense? Because you won't feel worthy of having it. So even if it's right in front of you, even if everything's lined up for you, there's that one resistance that will keep it from you. See? Okay, the next question here. What are your current feelings when it comes to money? How do you feel when you have it? How do you feel when you circulate it? The feeling we have when we circulate is really important, because it's circulation, like spending and receiving, are two of the same things. So if a person finds it really difficult to receive a gift, okay, that they also find it difficult to give. It's just the opposite. We want to get really comfortable and feel grateful. So the key word here is gratitude. Gratitude is a backbone to prosperity. Okay, in the Science of Getting Rich, chapter 7 on gratitude, it's hooking you up with your source of supply. And I love the line where he says, having received one gift from God, right? When a person disconnects straight away and starts to focus on what they don't have, they've disconnected from their source of supply. So you've just received a gift from God, right? For example, let's say you're at a restaurant, okay? This is literally, okay? But metaphorically, this happens in so many things. You've received a gift. Something good happened, a blessing. Okay, you found your child. They were lost at the beach. You found them. Oh my gosh, thank God. And then straight away, you go and worry about something. Bang, you've disconnected from gratitude. Worrying about something, when you worry, it means what? Think about it. Number one, you're using your imagination in reverse. But when we worry, ultimately, we're focusing on something at this present moment that hasn't happened yet. Okay? So worry, is that actually a good use of your energy or not? Would worry attract more, or do you feel it would repel more money? What do you think about worrying about money itself? Is that an energy of abundance, or is that an energy more associated with lack? Okay, so if you don't know how to feel about it, come back to gratitude. Okay, if you never know how to feel about it, come back to gratitude, come back to prosperity. Okay, come back to that feeling of thank you, God. Like God is your supply. Thank you, God. You can focus on what's not here, or you can focus on what's here. You can focus on the blessing, or you can focus on the curse. You can focus on, you get to choose what you focus on. Okay, that is the ultimate power that you have, is you get to choose abundance yourself, or you get to choose lack in any moment, in any day. So prosperity isn't something that you do, it's a consciousness that you have. You start to see that in all things. In all things, it's a habitual consciousness of plenty and focusing on the blessings and the gifts. Okay, another one. How do you feel when you check your bank account? Do you have a good, healthy relationship with your bank account? Or do you have, so this is where you can start to think, if that was a person, if bank account was a person, what kind of relationship would you have? Is it a really abusive one, a disrespectful one? Is it a healthy one? Is it a love-hate one? Do you know what I mean? Like, this gives you an insight into going, oh, yeah, what kind of relationship? Because everything in life, because it's an energy that we're a part of, it's a relationship that we have. A relationship with your body's health. That's a relationship with peace, a relationship with, nature. Like, there's so many. Why? Because we are part of everything at the same time. Okay. Now, this is what's beautiful. Just because it may not be the best relationship, guess what? You can change it. Doesn't that excite you? Just had a bird in the background. Like, yeah, that's right. That's right. You can change it. How empowering is that? Okay. Is money a blessing or a curse in your life? Really, really important. Anything like Money's God in Action by Ray Charles Barker talks about how it's all a relationship, okay? It's an exchange. It's circulation. It's about the law of circulation. So when you start to look at money being a person, what kind of relationship do you have? Is money controlling your emotions, or are you vibrating prosperity? Now, the thing about this is it doesn't matter what you're earning or what you have, you can always vibrate greater prosperity. And it's about also developing the consciousness of that person. So someone who's earning $50,000 a year to someone who's earning $350,000 a year, their consciousness is different. The way you think, the way you circulate, one of the biggest things that I would encourage you is to stop judging prices. Remove your judgment in like, oh, that's expensive, or that's cheap, or it just is. When you're in an ultimate state of prosperity, there is no judgment of price. Because it's just a form of respect. Like, I respect my service. I don't think my price is cheap or expensive. It's all relative anyway to another coach. It just is. But the more valuable you feel, the more valuable you think something is, maybe physically, right? The more you feel like, oh, that's deserving of this now, this price. Okay? So it's not about buying something because of its price. It's buying something because of its value to you and what you value. Makes sense? So how can you, I know this isn't here, but how can you become more valuable in your chosen profession? Or how can you become more valuable right now in your life? Because to receive money, there's also got to be an exchange of energy. If everything is energy, we've got to work in harmony with the law of circulation. In providing service is circulation. It's about opening up the channels of receiving. So how can you have money circulating more right now in your life? For example, if I think of my son, my eldest, he loves to buy, he wants things, right? He knows what he wants. And so right now we're working on teaching him how to become of service, and that money and service have a relationship. Okay. So by asking him, okay, so what is one, I want you to get a pen and paper and I want you to think of 10 ways in which you can provide a product or a service. Okay. And it could be making cookies and then going door knocking and selling them. Bang, that's a product. If you did that every day and you went and knocked on X amount of houses, do you feel that your income would go up? Yes. Bang, you've just increased a channel of source to come in. But if we are changing our consciousness without opening up channels, then we're just doing half of it. We're not actually working. This is then the prosperity idea at work. Does that make sense? And so many people are wanting more, but not doing the two pieces of the mental prosperity work and then increasing their source, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean you need to go open 10 businesses, but what it does mean is for you to evaluate right now in your life the ways in which money is flowing through to you and how you can have more to flow in. How can you allow more to flow in? Because the more channels you have as well of it flowing in, then what that does is your faith in receiving goes up too. If there's only one way in which you feel you can earn your money, and then that one way is choked up right now, you see how much resistance you can put on that thing. Okay. But what you can do, what Bob always did, was he stayed in alignment with his vision and his purpose. Right? He stayed true to what he loved. He didn't want to get in real estate. That was his thing. He didn't want it. Someone else loves it. That's fine. You see, he stayed true to that. Now, I don't believe there's a right or wrong either way. Okay, because I know people that are business people and entrepreneurs that actually love opening businesses, different kinds, finance, health, this, that, okay? But what their passion is business. And that's the common thing. Now, here's a golden question right now. Is money controlling your emotions, or are you vibrating prosperity? And I will tell you something. I don't know for you, but at least for me, I feel it in my heart. You might feel it in your gut. You might feel it somewhere in your body. When you vibrate peace and prosperity and that feeling of, oh, thank you, God, I have so much. You know, you feel it, just lots came in. That's another feeling to get used to, is feeling a lot of it coming in. What feeling does that give you? And do you notice that in a part of your body? Okay, the more in tune you are with your body, the more you'll feel it. It's a lightness. It's a sense of, it's a free energy. Okay. Worry. What does worry energy do to the body? It like shrinks it up, yeah, tightens it up. So the opposite of worry, okay, is relaxation. And when you're relaxed and you feel at ease and you feel abundance and plenty, you behave differently. Okay. Now, what is your current money story? What I mean by that is, what are your dominant thoughts about it? Okay. You and money in particular, not someone else and money, you and money, because this is your relationship you're working on. And is this a pattern? Like, is this something that has been around for a while? You may even notice other people that you know have this pattern that you grew up with, or not, maybe not. And the question is yes or no. Do you notice that? Is this current story, beliefs, and feelings about money reflected in your current results? So, in other words, you're looking at your story, you're putting these beliefs, ideas, and then you're looking at the result and you're seeing, hang on, are they actually a match? They may or may not be. You might have such an abundant money story right now, and the physical result hasn't shifted yet, hasn't caught up yet, right? But you're not fazed by the physical because your consciousness is vibrating prosperity and plenty. Or vice versa. You might actually have the physical abundance, but you're vibrating lack and limitation and feeling. And so that hasn't caught up yet. But like anything, energy is the first thing. And then the secondary is the physical manifestation. So just because it's not right now matching doesn't mean it's not the law of cause and effect at work. Law of cause and effect is always happening. Even Neville says, you may not know the bridge of like how the result has manifested, but I guarantee that you have put an imaginal act behind it. You have created it. No one else created it for you. And it may have been created a while ago. Okay. But imagine that you were just focused, living, breathing, expressing financial abundance and prosperity. What that would mean when you understand that the law of cause and effect is always at work. And the law of perpetual transmutation, where that imaginal idea is moving from a spiritual seed into a physical manifestation. Okay. There's no exact time for it to manifest. Some things happen quicker, some things not, depending on the level of resistance in the way. And faith. The stronger your faith, the quicker it'll manifest. Faith is the yeast that rises the dough. Okay. And fear is the yeast that really does the same thing. Faith and fear. Fear can make something manifest just as quickly because it's an intense emotion. Right. And so if you're afraid of something with your finances, that will manifest. They're putting that out there. So don't be afraid of, oh my God, I don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel that, because it's like saying, I don't want to see a pink elephant in my imagination. No. Like, you're just giving it attention anyway. But you've got to release and replace. So by honoring that fear, by saying, I hear you, I see you, it's okay. Oh, it stops vibrating as intensely. Okay. And then you have an opportunity now to start to reclaim the energy back. Okay. You're in control, not the fear. Is this current thinking, feeling, and behaving leading you towards creating a more prosperous future, keeping you where you are, or leading your life towards lack? And so this is about acknowledging your money story. Okay. So is this habitual money story that you have, or maybe right now, whichever one is dominant, because you may have done this the first day and now you're into the prosperity. First you're in the lack, and then you're able to connect to prosperity, or even say after a week, it shifts. I remember in thinking into results, the first time I ever did it, lesson five was like the worst day ever because it was acknowledging all this stuff. But really it was all in me. I just never got it out. And so everything was coming up, right? It was just uncomfortable. But by the end of the week, I was like, oh my gosh, I am writing like polarity. My physical result hadn't changed, but I was feeling like amazing. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. So I'm saying, is your vibration right now, this one, attracting greater prosperity, the same, or lack, or towards less? Okay. If we are not consistently working at this, then the dominant program is what's going to play out. Okay. That's why for me, this is a constant journey. Like this is a constant next level of consciousness. Okay. And we're unlearning, we're releasing, acknowledging with love, and we're letting go, and then we're replacing. We're not just shoving it in, trying to change it. You notice that? I didn't go in the first question, go, all right, write all the positive affirmations about money. What money story would you love? Because if we just go there, not aware of like the muck underneath it, that soil's not fertile anyway. I'm wasting your time, and you're wasting your time by trying to put this affirmation in when the soil is rotting underneath. Okay. So we've got to clear it out. We've got to create the space. It's energy. Energy has to be released. Okay. And that's that process of transformation, to release, create space, and replace. And then we keep using repetition for the new story, the new affirmations. Yes. But we've got to keep this process of cleaning out the weeds as they keep coming up. Right? We've got to keep raking that soil. We've got to keep fertilizing it. We've got to keep focusing on clearing it. See? What kind of income would you love to be earning? What would allow you to feel and live in freedom? Okay. What would allow you to live in freedom right now? The way you would love to be living. But my question I didn't put in there, but I would add right now is, how would you even love to be living? Like if you think of the kind of things that you would want to be doing, the kind of things that you would want to be having, possessions, what kind of quality would you love to be surrounded by? What standard of quality? And some things aren't as important to some people than others. You know, I led my grandfather's funeral yesterday. They didn't have a celebrant, so I was the celebrant essentially, and I'd never done it. I'm like, well, I've done that many events, right? That many presentations. I've been practicing this whole time, right? And one thing that my grandfather, he was always about quality. Like it didn't matter how much it cost. He wanted to get the best thing, you know? So, people, when they migrated, that no one had TVs back in the day, well, not many anyway. People did, but not many, not where they were. But he got a TV, and he got one, and he was really proud that he could do that, but he wasn't doing it to show off. He was doing it because he loved quality things. He comes from Spain, into finer things. So if you're into finer things, don't judge yourself because you love the quality, but just ask yourself, am I doing it because I love it? Am I doing it because I feel more accepted by others? We're doing it to show off essentially, or we genuinely love it. If no one else knew, would you still want it? In other words, that's a great question to ask. No one else in the world knew that you own that, or you drove that, or you had that. Would you still love it? You're doing it for yourself, for your spirit, or you're doing it for others? And I think that's a really great question to ask yourself. And when you lead by love, oh, I love that. It's you that loves it. But if you're so used to asking other people for their opinion, or what do you think about that? Well, that's their opinion. They're not sharing. It's you that's going to wear it. It's you that's going to own it, or it's you that's going to do it. So to me, asking people's opinions, unless you're collaborating on a project, doing something together, that's different. But asking someone what they think about something that you love, it's a violation of you listening to your own essence, to me. And so regardless, be authentic to you is my point. Be authentic to you. I know plenty of people that are not interested in nice physical things. They're like, yeah, I love them, but I much prefer to have experiences and travel, right? So this is about you thinking, if anything was possible, how would I love to live? If money was never an issue for me, how would I love to live? How would I be spending my days? Or what would I be giving? And a lot of you are also fueled by giving so much, whether it's people you love or, a charity. You just want to make a difference that way too. Okay, so what would that look like for you? How would your life be different when you're earning this amount of money? Okay. For some of you, you've never thought about this before. So that's a big question. How would you feel about yourself when you are earning this amount of money? How are you feeling about you now? Because I promise you, especially for those who are working through their self-worth and self-love and feeling like you are a great provider already, and all these things about your self-worth, you're wanting this freedom as well, because there's a part of you that feels more worthy. You feel more proud of yourself. You feel more, like successful or accomplished, or okay. And therefore, it's about creating that feeling now before you earn it. You see, you got to feel like this person now, first vibration, then manifestation. Remember, 101, that's about you as well. Okay. And just like anything, amidst contrast, as who was it used to say, it's the hardest work in the world, Wallace Wattles, to feel truth regardless of appearance. I depending on my mood, I disagree with that, but when you're no longer can go to the outside, you have to go to the inside, right? And it's in these moments where the biggest changes happen. But can you just stay working on the inside and connected to this higher power? And it'll stay easier for you that way. Okay, it'll be easier for you that way. How would you feel? This is really, really important. And this is why I created Love and Prosper, because I noticed for me, when I worked on my self-worth, my self-esteem, my self-image, guess what would happen? I would be led to circulate. I would be following the laws. My thinking would be more prosperous, abundant, and naturally I would attract more. That's literally what helps me increase my income the most. Okay, is my self-worth, my thoughts about me, my vibration about me. Okay, and I'll put it in this way, if I feel valuable and I feel my worth from God's perception and I stay here, it's so much easier to work in harmony with the law. And same thing with you. When you can see and feel yourself from God's perception, that you are worthy, and you see and you feel how good you are and all the gifts and the talents, and you feel your uniqueness, That's that foundation. Now you add a healthy money story. Now you add prosperous thoughts to that. Bang. Okay. That's how you're going to change your life when it comes to relation to financial prosperity. Okay. So I know everyone teaches it differently, but for me, I feel my calling has been love. You come back to love and you create, it could be health consciousness. Bang, it's going to take off. Okay. I've just always been so fascinated with money. Okay. I've always, I feel like it's been one of my biggest teachers, my biggest healers, and it continues to be. Okay. Okay. Next question. How would you feel about your life when you're earning this amount of money? Do you ever look forward to the future? Like, are you excited about your future now? Or do you feel you need to have more money to be excited about your future? And this is something that I would really, really ask yourself, because often we're excited about these milestones. I know, oh, those that have a partner and married, they're like, yeah, so we're so excited, and you fantasize about your future. And then you may think of having a child, and then you fantasize about the kind of parent you're going to be. And then, or let's say start a new career, new job, and you're like, oh, and you're fantasizing. Why? Because it's a new energy. It's a new energy. So how often do you feel that new energy, that vitality, that excitement, that enthusiasm of what your life is going to be 3 months, 6 months, 12 months? And this is that spirit. If I think of a child, how they are so, everything's new energy, they're fascinated by butterfly, fascinated. My daughter's fascinated by spinning around, getting dizzy right now. She loves it. She thinks it's the funniest thing in the world. And I just look at that, and we were there too. Can we stay there more often? Like, can we really make an effort to look forward to tomorrow, to today, to next week, to the future with this joy, excitement, enthusiasm, and wonder, like you once did as a child? Because that is coming from a place of expectation, of expecting positive things. If you're enthused and excited about something, well, then you're looking forward to it. But if you're like, don't want to get up today, well, then there's nothing that in that moment you feel like getting up for, right? You see? So, and I'm just honor you where you are. Like, yesterday was not the day that I felt like, going out and conquering the world. But at the same time, we don't want to stay there. We want to keep our energy and our spirit high, and we want to make sure that you're excited about your financial future. You want to make sure you're excited about the kind of life you're creating, that you're excited about what's manifesting, that you're high on life for no other reason that other than life is a part of you, right? You're not high on life because of nothing outside, but you're actually high on life because you love yourself and you love life itself. Okay. One of the most powerful affirmations, I remember at the end of my self-image script, I would put, this is the happiest I've ever been in my whole life. I love my life. And that affirmation worked so well for me, where I started to recognize that I was saying that. My gosh, I love my life. I love my life. I love my, right? Would you love to improve your habitual money story and break the generational pattern when it comes to financial prosperity, ultimately improving your quality of life? Yes or no? And why? Why? If you answered yes, why would you love to improve the money story? Why would you love to break generational pattern? Why do you want to improve the quality of your life? Is it because you think you should? Is it because you deserve it? Is it because you want to be right? Whatever it is, just be honest with yourself, okay? And this is what I've done like a preface as to Love and Prosper, but Love and Prosper's first part of the program is all about creating fertile soil, all right, and your relationship with you and this higher power. And then the second half of the program is all financial prosperity. Okay, awareness, and then starting to change the story and then applying it, the practical application of prosperity. Okay, I didn't speak much about the practical application of it other than increasing your service. Okay, that's one thing, but the application side of things. And to me, I feel like it is just dynamite, right? Not for everyone, because not everyone falls in this category. Like, I don't resonate with other things, but I guarantee you would not be here, you wouldn't be listening to this if the process didn't resonate with you. And I know so many of you have studied Bob as well, okay? But you needed that love piece. You needed that self-worth piece. You needed to work on yourself more, okay? It's a healing process. This is a spiritual journey of creating more material wealth through a process of loving yourself and letting go of lack ideas and programming prosperous ones. Expressing your gifts and talents so you can circulate service or products or whatever you want to circulate in harmony with your essence, which will make prosperity more long-lasting, okay? Because it's an expression of you. Okay, and so ultimately, it's this beautiful dance. It's a beautiful marriage of you and your relationship with a higher power, with yourself and your mental program. And no matter what's happened or where you're at right now or where you've come from, you can change it. Okay, you can change it. And you can keep improving it. And I know for so many of you, you already have. No, I'm thinking of you, Stephen Crockford. I've seen you go from a laborer, right, to where you are now. Like, it's been an incredible transformation. You know, such an incredible transformation. It doesn't mean we don't want to keep transforming. Like, this is our birthright. That's why I'm here. That's why you're here too. So it's just a process of letting go, replacing, releasing, and transforming. And I don't know about you, but I'm here for the full transformation of the whole experience of life. Okay, the contrast is just to teach us things about ourselves. And as we heal them and decide differently, we start to change the outside. And my journey of literally changing generational patterns, I have always met up against contrast. Okay. So if you're in the contrast of things and you desiring to change them, well, then this is the perfect place and I can help you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to email each and every one of you a link for those who want to join Love and Prosper. We are going to be starting the group on WhatsApp already. There's people in the group, but for this coming week, so let's say next week, there's going to be a lot more support in that space from me to really help you, whether you're in the self-study or in the 6-month coaching with me. Okay. I love this program. I think to me, it's one of the most magical programs ever. I don't know every program, so I guess I can't compare, but it's a divine. I didn't figure it out logically. It's come from divine. So it's just come through me. And I'm so in love with it. And I know how much it's already helping people enrich their life. Like I said, we had someone manifest money that was their intention, and bang, they did it within a week, right? The exact amount. And so the more in tune you are with you, the easier it will be, okay, to let things in. But like anything, it's a healer. So let's embrace it. Let's welcome it. Let's learn from it from all aspects. Let's respect it and respect ourselves in the process and really become one with the idea of prosperity, first inside and then to be expressed on the outside. Okay? From my heart to each and every one of you who have joined this 4-part process, this 10-day transformative event, I would highly encourage you to answer the questions again, and just really acknowledge what comes up for you. If you want help to shift this, okay, I'm here to help you. Okay, I'm here to help you shift this if you're ready and if you desire to do so. And there's 2 ways to do it. There's the 10-week, okay, self-study coaching, or there's a 6-month Love and Prosper coaching. And I'll put it up in your email. I have all your emails, so please be sure to check it. And I'll put a link there. If there's any questions beyond this event, feel free to reach out to me as well. Okay, because I know not everyone could join and you may not have done the questions, and that's okay. But I highly encourage you to do them. Really, really encourage you to do them and do them more than once. Okay. So thank you so much for being here and on this journey. I have loved it. Keep transforming, keep choosing you, and keep choosing to feel your perfection and allow more prosperity in your life, because you know what? You deserve it. Okay? Over and out, guys. Much love. Bye for now.